July 15th, 2025. 1 year ago today, I smoked my last cigarette right here around this fire pit. And if a few short years ago you would have told me that I'd be here sharing that with you today, I probably would have lit one up just to calm down. If you're watching this, you're probably in one of two spaces. Either you're like still smoking and you're wondering if maybe like you've waited too long to stop, or you feel quit and you're trying to figure out what comes next. The hard part isn't quitting. It's staying quit when the emergency fades and the quiet sets in. This isn't really a quit smoking video. It's an inventory. July 15th, my day. The day I picked during the year to look back. Like not New Year's, not my birthday, just this day. And here's what happened during the year that followed. I used to think quitting smoking was a health decision. Turns out it was a money decision, a time decision, an energy decision, a who actually am I decision that just happened to start with health. Look, I did the math, 25 years. It's absurd, the amount of money that I spent on cigarettes, and it stops now. Just in the past year alone, a pack a day, that's somewhere north of 7 grand. Like, that didn't go up in smoke. Like, let that hit home. Like, did quitting smoking pay off my credit card? No. Did it pay off my vehicle? No. Did it move us closer to mortgage freedom? No. But it was the first domino. Like $7,300, man. That's like the vacations that we never went on. The upgrades to the vehicle you wanted to do. New tires. The things that I could have done with that money. Instead, you know, she's going up in smoke. This year, like where that money went, like it was going into the holidays. It was going into the bikes so we didn't have to just walk. That extra little bit for the paddle boards, the extra paddle, things like that. All the little things that count, and the running shoes and all those things that would have otherwise just gone up in smoke. So somewhere throughout that year as well, like something inside of me had to shift. And it had to shift from like, I can't afford not to smoke to I can't afford to smoke. So yes, the money mattered, but honestly, the time mattered more. The biggest thing I learned this year wasn't what quitting gave me. It was what smoking was quietly taking. My time, energy, presence, attention, my health. Like, I use nicotine to pause, to reset, to cope. And if you've ever stood outside in the dead of a Canadian winter at 11 o'clock p.m. because you needed one, you know, that one before bed, you already know. It wasn't a reward, it was a leash. So back behind me, I don't know if you can see it or not, the top of a roof, but anyways, that's my workshop's back there. Like, I'm out in my backyard right now. I've stood in that place so many times to smoke cigarettes, whether it be like woodworking, doing anything with like the fish, the deer, processing them, whatever it happened to be. Maybe it was just having friends over on the weekend or something. Like, hey, there was so many cigarettes smoked in that old building. Yeah, like more than I can shake a stick at. And like, just think about the lost time. What is it, like say 5 minutes a cigarette, and I smoked 25 of them. So that's like what, like 2.5 hours? Yeah, a day, just like up in smoke when I could have been doing something else. And that's where this channel has come in. It's given me something to do with my hands and my mind during those difficult times early on. And now, here we are 1 year later making the 1 year milestone video. There's also that quiet drain as well that there's not a lot of people or not enough of us talking about. Like, a smoker's always got to think, where can they smoke their next cigarette? And it's kind of going to dictate what they do from day to day and in the pockets of time in their day. That right there is kind of draining all in itself, and it's something that just kind of blends in, and you'll never realize that until you actually quit smoking. But that's a real thing, and I think that's where a source of this rejuvenated energy comes from. That's my take. You're welcome to put in the comments your opinion on it. Here's the thing no one tells you about quitting smoking. You remove something that was filling a role, And if nothing replaces that role, well, stress fills it, sugar fills it, alcohol fills it, scrolling fills it, or eventually cigarettes are gonna creep back in. So what filled it for me? It started out walking. And what I did, this was actually even before my actual quit date. My wife, she's a regular, like she's the one that's out there like stomping the ground, making the steps every day.
About 7,500.
And I joined her. That's for 1 mile? No, 2 miles. 4 miles. 2 weeks before, 10 days, 2 weeks before I quit smoking, I would go with her, spend an hour and a half, and we would go walking. I would leave the cigarettes at home, the lighter at home, everything, and I would take a few nicotine mints with me. When I got home, like immediately after, like I would smoke and I would think, okay, can I actually do this? And it took about 10 sessions to like get my mind to the point where I was like, yep, yeah, I can do this. Then that turned into religiously walking, all summer long it was, which became hiking because we wanted to challenge ourselves. And we did it either the two of us, my wife and I, or we did it as a family with the dogs and everybody included. Right, and summer mixed in there was paddleboarding as well. And we were able to get that third paddleboard so we can make this all rock and roll for everybody. Because before we were having to double and it's kind of annoying. Then somewhere in there, we also added mountain biking. That's been a game changer. Like not only just for my own fitness, but just for that bonding time with my son as well. Like it's been fantastic. And moving on a little bit from like the physical side, although we were physical too in these places, we got a chance to escape the Canadian winter for a little bit, for a week or so, and we went down to Arizona. That was pretty great too, so we had somewhere to stay, which was awesome. We just had to get there, and we did some amazing family building, character building, and just explored and experienced something that we just don't get here on the Canadian prairies. So that was pretty fantastic. And man, that's not the only place that we went either. We were in Edmonton, Alberta, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Regina, Saskatchewan. We were down to Salt Lake City for like 5 days. Stayed right downtown. It was awesome. I had to mountain bike everywhere. That was like, that's the fastest I've ever been on a mountain bike, by the way. Like it was scary how fast I was going, but it was still pretty fun. So yeah, like, the trips that we've gone on and everything is just what a great experience, and I do chalk this up to not smoking and also having that energy to do this has been pretty fantastic too. The progression, like that wasn't planned, like it was just something that happened. But when you're not spending 2.5 hours a day smoking, well, you end up moving. This wasn't a fitness transformation. Like, I didn't become an athlete. I became someone who had the space in the day and chose to fill it with something that gave back. Yeah, what I found that the walks did for me was that I just did better thinking while moving, like thought in motion, I guess you might call it. It just felt like everything just kind of like released from me. I was nowhere near cigarettes, I couldn't touch them. And eventually you start feeling better and your legs are stronger and your lungs are better and you can go further and you can go faster and all these things. It was all because of walking. Not to mention just spending that quality time with my wife as well, just to like catch up and be like this as we take on life together. I'd say it gave me a lot of clarity, a lot of time for processing like what was happening in my life and decisions made while moving. The unexpected side effect was just better sleep, fewer cravings for sure, like I was saying, and just more patience, right? And my morning coffee, like I was still having my morning coffee ×2, because I love coffee. I just wasn't deciding to like either have that or the cigarette or both at the same time, right first thing in the morning. I'm not gonna quit everything. The ritual gaps, like what they look like now, they're filled. And I am experimenting with what I want to put in those gaps, because I'll tell you what, it's not going to be cigarettes. So it's like a transition from the guy who smokes to the guy who moves. This is, okay, well, the people, right? This is where it stops being about cigarettes. Like, Man, I lost people this year, not to smoking, to life, to time. Like, officially now, my wife and I, like, we both have no grandparents left in this world with us, you know, they've now passed. My dog, Ranger, like, he died, he was 13. He was like the best dog ever. Oh, this one's huge. Like being in Montreal with my dad and my sister for a Montreal Canadiens game, it's knocked that out of the ballpark. That was on my dad's bucket list. Yeah, we knocked it out. We knocked her out. I remember like sitting on his lap in the big armchair as a kid and him telling me, yeah, we're gonna go to Montreal someday. We'll go to one of those hockey games. We made it happen. Man, there was that trip to Arizona, right? Like I was just mentioning, that was something that was pretty darn cool too, and something I'd like to do a lot more of actually. I'd say the thing that I learned was that showing up matters and being present matters. This year reminded me of something I already knew but wasn't living. People don't stay forever. Dogs don't stay forever. Parents, grandparents, they don't stay forever. And neither do we. So I started saying yes. Yes to the trip, yes to the experience, and yes to the memory. Quitting smoking didn't automatically make me healthy. It just removed something that was making me unhealthy. Here's what I didn't expect. I thought the win was not smoking, right? But the win was not smoking and what it made room for. Okay, and that's that. Now, just wait for the results. That was the blood test, and yeah, that's all I got. They said it'd be quick, within a day or so we should know some results and we can start with the baseline. Like in this past year, I know that my health markers have improved. My LDL, like it's improved. Better nutrition, absolutely. And more movement, well, it's clear, like we've kind of already gone over that. And all of this has like a compounding effect, you know? Like the surprising thing for me, like health-wise, is that I was not in as good a shape as I thought I actually was. Also, like, hey, I'm setting myself up for the second half. If you're watching this and you've quit, or you're thinking about it, here's what I'll tell you. The quit is where it starts. The rebuild, that's where it starts getting good. And reinvesting a portion of that smoking money back into your future self is a solid move. There's a form in the description, fill it out. That's your next step. I'll reach out personally and I'll share exactly what's working for me. It's not a program or it's not a course. It's just an honest conversation about what's filled the space for me and how it could do the same for you. When I quit, I didn't have a system. I just knew I needed to put something back into my body and my home to support my health during this time. Like vitamins and supplements, these matter to my future health and to support my future health. Also at the same time, like we were slowly switching out everything in our household, like all the household products and the cleaners that weren't made of things that I couldn't even pronounce. It sounds simple, and it was simple, and it compounded. Now, a year later, like looking back, like it's one of the major reasons why I didn't go back. I spent 25 years thinking quitting smoking was the goal. Yeah, well, turns out it wasn't. Quitting smoking created space. The real question became, what am I gonna put in that space? Your second win isn't about cigarettes. No, it never was. It's about looking at your life at like 35, 40, 45, 50, or wherever you land and asking, what do I actually want my next chapter to look like? The point is intentional rebuilding, because what you're building towards now is the next year and your next chapter. 1 year ago, I thought I was giving something up. Now, I realize I'm preparing myself for a meaningful second wind. If you're still smoking, like it may take multiple tries, okay? That's normal, like it's human. Give yourself grace and know that your effort will be worth it, like tenfold worth it. And if you're already quit, the rebuild is exactly where it all comes together. I'm Troy. This is Second Win, Midlife Edition.